I'm gonna make another cooking video. Hello? Hey, let's make some chili. So one of my favorite things to cook when it's getting cold is chili. And what I like about chili is there's so many different ways that you can prepare it. And right now, I don't really feel like going to the store. So last night, I just looked through my cupboard, my fridge, and my freezer to see if I had enough ingredients to make some chili. And I think I can pull it off with what I have here in the house. So what I like to do is make turkey chili. And today, I did see that I had 1.5 pounds of ground turkey left in my freezer. So I thawed that out last night. And I had bought some ground beef as well. So I have some 80/20, about 1/2 pound right here. I think it's 1/2 pound. I don't know. I don't have a kitchen scale, so we're just gonna wing it. But about 2 pounds of meat, gonna throw that in here. First thing I need to do, what I like to do is cook off some bacon in the cast iron, because I like chopping up bacon, throwing that in my chili as well. So I happen to have some bacon. So cooked 4 strips of bacon, and now I'm gonna cook this meat in the bacon fat. There goes the ground beef. And here comes the ground turkey. Don't want that on there, eh? Ground turkey does not look great once it's unfrozen. What I'm trying to do is get a nice little sear on this meat. So I broke out the big cast iron. So the meat is starting to sear off, so we got to talk, what is the flavor profile of the chili that we're going to make here today? And it's cold. I want something that's rich. I want something that's a little darker and deeper because it's winter. So I'm not going to make it very spicy. Normally I'm making it for a group of people. I'll kick the heat up a little bit, but right now it's just myself, my wife, and my kid. So I'm going to tone down the spice level. But on the meat itself, the ground turkey isn't really a deep, dark meat for me. So I'm going to try to sear it up on the cast iron. And actually, I was looking in my cupboard and I found this espresso powder. So I think I'm going to sprinkle some espresso powder on here and sear that in to add a little more flavor to the meat. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I've done it before. I've done it on some pork chops. It works really well. But I'm going to do that. And then we can start working on the base of our ingredients to put in the crock pot here, and we'll take it from there. But first things first, got to get that meat going. All right, so while the meat is doing its thing, we're going to get the rest of these ingredients together. So what I always go with as a base is some tomato sauce. So just dump that right in there right off the bat. So I found some fire roasted tomatoes in my cupboard, so we're going to go and add those in there as well. Those look awesome. Clean all these up later. And then I did have some chili style tomatoes. We're going to add this in as well. I just like a lot of tomatoes in there, and that didn't seem like enough. Okay, so we got meat, we have tomatoes. Now we have to talk about what veggies we want. I always go with a green pepper, and I didn't cut one up. I happen to have this one. I have a diced green pepper here, so I'm going to add that in. I'm going to cook it after the meat, and I also have some mirepoix, which is some onions, celery, and carrots, so we're going to add that in as well. For a little heat, I went to the store the other day and got a jalapeno. I just got one, because again, I'm not going to make it that hot, but one little trick I like to do with the jalapenos, so you don't destroy your hands, is take the bag that it came in, and rather than using a glove, you can just take your thumb and clean out the insides that way without actually touching it. That way it's all clean, and when you forget and rub your eye later, you're all right. So I'm gonna dice this guy up. My wife doesn't like it too spicy, so I'm going to try to go a little easy on this. Now, you never know with a jalapeno. I mean, sometimes you get one and it doesn't taste like much. Yeah, I think this one's pretty mild. Ooh, there it is. She'll still think that's a lot, so I may just go with half of one for now. You can always add spice to your chili later on, so I'm not going to go overboard with this right now. So as soon as the meat is ready, I'm going to take that off, put it in the chili, and I'll start cooking down my vegetables a little bit. All right, our meat is looking good. One thing I like about ground turkey is the fact that it's not greasy. If I had 2 pounds of ground beef in there, it would be swimming in grease and I'd be spooning it out right now. This is a little drier of a meat, so we're certainly gonna have to add a little more liquid into our chili as we get going, but I think I am about ready to take this off and add it to the crock pot. Okay, our meat is good to go. I'm gonna transfer over to the crock pot. This pan is super heavy and it is screaming hot, so wish me luck. Holy moly. All right. It's always good to have a second set of hands. I do not. It's not pretty sometimes in the kitchen with me. Meat smells good. It was starting to sear up. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. All right. There we go. This is exactly how Food Network would do it. There we are. All right, nice. There we are. Now, time to do some veggies. Don't forget to put this back on, scald yourself. So I'm gonna add the peppers and the onions and the jalapeno into here, cook them off just a little bit. Give this guy a little bit of a stir, and now we gotta start talking about spice. So what do we want to use for spices in this guy? Obviously it's chili, you need a lot of chili powder. A little thing like this size of chili powder is $4, easy. So what I had was one of these little chili kits, and it comes with a chili powder spice mix. Right here, this whole thing I think was $2. It also has the flour if you want to thicken it up towards the end, and it has some more cayenne. I'll usually use about half of this and then throw the rest in my current cayenne jar, and then I have more. So I will add this usually half now and half later, just so everything's mixed in there nice. There we go. Alrighty, give that a little stir. Get this going. Now obviously we need to add some liquid to this. So what flavor profiles do we want to go with? Well, obviously I use some espresso powder, so I want to keep this dark. It's always good to turn the guy on. That helps. I'm gonna go low for about 6 hours, I think, or until I'm so hungry that I can't stand it anymore. So I'm gonna check on the vegetables, give those a little stir, and we'll keep going. Okay, our vegetables have cooked, so I'm gonna try to get those in there and be a little more elegant about it this time. Who knows? There we go. I just wanted to cook these down a little bit and get some of the flavor out of that pan. You don't have to cook them ahead of time. I mean, this is a crock pot. They will cook obviously slow. So I guess the next thing is to add a little more of this. I cook this all the time, but never on video. This is challenging for me to do this all and know what I'm doing at the same time. So liquid, that's what we need right now. We've got all this, we've got the dry rubs in there. I'm gonna add a little shake of Worcestershire sauce. Yep, that's what I said. I don't measure, I really don't. I just kind of do it to taste. So other liquids. It's buffalo. I gotta use Red Hot. Again, just can always add more. It's Red Hot, it's delicious. OJ, yes, I'm using orange juice. You need liquid, probably about a cup of water is what a lot of people would use, but I'm not using water. I'm gonna use other liquids. So I'm gonna go with a little bit of sweetness to cancel out the heat. Not that there's gonna be that much heat in this particular recipe. And I like putting beer in there. So again, I'm going for this warm, kind of nice feel for this particular chili. So I am going to put a beer in here. Maybe not the whole thing. Daddy needs some liquid. All right, good. So that looks weird. Bubbles up, interestingly. So again, I put the espresso powder in there, and I don't know if I put too much. I mean, maybe I ruined this batch of chili already. We'll find out. But you know what? My coffee pot just went off. Let's add a little coffee in here. Let's get nuts. There we go. Okay, so that's our liquids, but we need some more spices. Do yourself a favor, get yourself some smoked paprika. It is a wonderful thing. Trader Joe's has it, it's pretty cheap. So we're gonna, again, not measure, but dump this in. Another beautiful thing I like to do, adding a little more of that sweet element, is some smoked cinnamon. I've had this for a long time. A little goes a very long way. I mean, honestly, I just put, that's probably way too much. For this huge batch of chili, you're gonna taste cinnamon like crazy. Cinnamon is very strong. Don't go overboard with it. A little cumin. Love adding cumin to it. There we go. What else we got? Crushed red pepper. I did put a little red pepper flake in the meat as it was cooking, but we'll add a little bit more. Again, trying to tone this one down. And then we have a few other things, obviously beans. I like to put those in after a few hours, but I'm gonna add a little honey too to keep with that sweetness. Does it ever happen with your honey? It gets all like, it's supposed to last forever, but it gets all kind of crusty inside. I'm not really sure. I mean, it looks a little weird, but it's gotta be good, right? If you know a way to keep honey better, let me know, please. All right, so that should do it with ingredients. You know, I had tomato paste here, but I usually don't use it. This stuff thickens up pretty well as it is. If you want, you can add a little bit of the flour, stir that in towards the end, or you could add tomato paste right now, and it will thicken up again. So I think that's about it for now. We're just gonna let this guy go. Bacon, are you kidding me? Did I almost forget the bacon? That's the most important part. It's been drying off here. Honestly, I just kind of cut it up small, throw it right in there. Do you have to do this? Absolutely not, but why wouldn't you if you have it around? Just throw in whatever you want. I mean, honestly, you know, people say, I love your chili, what's in it? What's the secret? What's your recipe? I don't have a recipe. I mean, I have the base never changes, but it's whatever ingredients you have in the house. If you have some leftovers, throw them in there. Who knows? I mean, obviously, chili's gonna last a while. You gotta think about what you're putting in there as far as pre-cooked options, but this is a good recipe I've been making since my bachelor days, way back. Really brought the ladies in. It did not. So yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna put the beans in a few hours. The one other thing I like to add to my chili that people seem to love is a can of corn. Now what you can do with the corn, and especially the beans, you want to drain all the liquid out. You don't put the liquid in there. And with the beans, you want to rinse them out as well. You don't want, it's just sodium in there, you know, so I try to clean them, rinse them out in the sink first, and then dump them in. But I'm gonna put the corn in now. My son likes corn, so I'll probably do that much, save the rest for him for dinner. And then just incorporate all this in here, put it on low, leave it alone, go watch the game, do whatever you gotta do. This will be killer in a few hours. Normally I would add more cayenne. You can add as many peppers and spices as you want. I usually go with 2 jalapenos and an Anaheim pepper, but today I just did the 1, so we're gonna keep it a little more mild in an hour or so. I'm gonna taste this, see what flavors are underwhelming or overwhelming, and try to make adjustments from there. I have all the ingredients, I can just keep dumping them in. Okay, so it's been about an hour or so. Maybe it hasn't, you don't know. But anyway, I just put the beans in. I went with 1 can of the dark kidney beans and 1 can of pinto beans. Sometimes I add more, but right now I kind of want the meat to be the star of the show. I think it's really gonna turn out great, so I can't wait any longer. I'm gonna try a little bit. Just trying to get some of this nice meat here. Looks pretty good. Note to self, don't take such a large bite next time. But yeah, you can really taste that espresso powder, that coffee, the beer just made some real dark flavors in there, and that is a really nice hearty bite. All right, the moment of truth is upon us. I can't wait any longer, so I'm gonna dig into this. I'm so excited, looking good. I just can't hide it. I'm about to eat my chili, and I'm sure I'll like it. All right, so I like to put it in one of these guys. I just feel like it keeps it warm longer. Oh, yeah. Smells great. Looks good. Very excited. Throw just a little cheese on there. You can top it any way you like. I know people go nuts with certain things, but we're just gonna go with this. So there it is, Jerry's famous turkey chili. You can throw anything in there you want. Chili is very forgiving. Even I can make it. Enjoy. I ate an Oreo like an idiot. No, I'm making a video, probably got chocolate in my teeth now.